Hello everyone and welcome to another 25.1 preview video. My name is Adam and in this video, we're going to do a quick look at the new auto assign differential pairs feature inside of Presto. Now, when you first start working with differential pairs, you know that you need to have a positive end and a negative end, usually denoted by some sort of suffix, right? So you might use _p _n, or you might use underscore plus, underscore minus. However you do this, right, you probably have some sort of standard, and then you want the tool to understand that standard and automatically assign your differential pairs based on that naming scheme that you use. Now, the cool thing about differential pairs is once you have a differential pair set, when you're using something like the routing command, instead of routing just a single trace at a time, right, you would be routing the entire, both sides of the differential pair together. And to do that, we'll go up into the setup menu here and then select differential pairs. And this is the new differential pair automatic setup tool that we have in Presto 25.1. Now, what this allows you to do is pick, what are your differential pair polarity indicators? So like I said, if you use _p _n in order to denote your differential pair ends, then you can leave that checked. If you use _t _c, I personally don't use that, so I'll go ahead and uncheck that. I also don't use _pos _neg, and also this plus minus not used by me. And then you'll notice if I uncheck the _p _n, this list here at the bottom will also be populated by all of the different candidates for automatic differential pair creation inside of my design. Now you can also add some user-defined polarity indicators. So for example, if you do underscore, well, I'm trying to think of a good example here, but let's just do _a and _b. Just add that. So _a _b. If I had a net like that in my design, then it would be added to this list, assuming that it matches this user-defined polarity indicators. Now, most of the time, if you're working on a design, you'll only have one standard, right? But this allows you to kind of, have your own standard also listed here as well. Now, if there's a prefix that you want to add to each of your differential pairs, so for example, diff underscore, then you'll notice that the new differential pair name will now have a name of diff underscore and then the name of the pair that it's creating. And the way that it actually creates that pair, so if you look at, for example, this, let's just make this a little larger. So TXO SO L clock _P and TXO SO L clock _N. So what it does is it removes that suffix, and assuming that the name matches, it just uses whatever is left over after removing that suffix and adds that to that name, whether or not you have this, prefix added here. So let's go ahead and select create diff pairs. It's going to take a second because what it's actually doing is it's editing the constraint database, but we get this nice little log file that's just going to tell us if everything went okay, and it looks like everything has been created correctly. So we can go ahead and close. And then if I go into my constraint manager, electrical analysis constraint manager, and just jump into any of these sections and look at net all layers, I should now have a bunch of differential pairs in my design. So they all have this diff underscore naming on it. So here's an example, the diff underscore DDR underscore clock. So my clock signal for my DDR interface. And again, just to show how it works, now that these are a differential pair, if I select one of these pins in my route command, now these are being routed as a differential pair. I haven't set up all of the spacing and the trace widths yet, but you'll see that, both of these are now being routed instead of just a single pin. So that's it for the automatic differential pair creation, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. And if you have any recommendations on what you'd like to see in a future video, maybe some more tutorial content, or maybe you'd like to see some features that you're not very familiar with, please leave us a comment below as well. And thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.